You see now? You see what I said? You see what I said last week? You see what I said in the comments? Bakugou is not going to become a Sasuke character. By no means is he. I talked about this, and seeing this, there you go. Perfect evidence. Perfect fucking evidence that Bakugou is not going to turn into a Sasuke-like villain. Because he straight up went savage mode on Shigaraki and fucked his face up. Well, and also knocked his hand off his face. So, with that being said, any of those that still believe that Bakugou is going to be Sasuke, I'm sorry, it's not happening. It's just not. Had a big discussion last week in the comments, talked about slightly in the video. Here you go. Perfect evidence that Bakugou is not going to become a villain. He's not going to have, Izuku chasing him down to the end of the series. That's not going to be happening. So, now that I've said that, let me move on. Let me talk about this chapter. So, Bakugou. Badass, by the way. Very badass. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Fucking awesome. What you did in this chapter. After all this speech of what the villains were saying, they were talking about a speech of what they want to do, Stain's ideals. I mean, you just see all of them having their own different reasons for being here as a villain or standing up or doing what they're wanting to do. Eventually, when, Shigaraki, he comes over there to uncuff Bakugou, he's like, hey, we can't have him, cuffed up like this. He's one of us. We're scouting him. All of a sudden, Bakugou just straight up freaking explosion right in Shigaraki's face, knocks off his hand, and you see Shigaraki look down, he's like, father, which I've talked about this in the past in previous chapters, so I'm not going to really dive into it, because a long time ago, I think around chapter 19, 18, 17, it was a while back. It is in around that time when I discussed about Shigaraki. I had a big discussion about him. I think I actually made a separate discussion video on Shigaraki now that I think about it. But anyways, the main thing is though, that ending, very hot stuff indeed with Shigaraki. I wonder what he's going to do and how he's going to react after what Bakugou just did to the hand on his face. It has a lot of meaning to Shigaraki. But, Bakugou, man, what you did was some ballsy shit. And let's explain why Bakugou did this, which kind of fits along the lines of, the motivation of Bakugou's character. See, as we all know, Bakugou saw something on TV a long time ago, which featured All Might surrounded by a bunch of villains, and All Might won. He won against a fight against, impossible odds. He was completely surrounded, and All Might won. And Bakugou was remembering this with a flashback, and he's like, I'm just doing something like All Might, fighting you all. And he was pretty much saying, I don't care how many of you are, all of you villain assholes, I'm going to kick all of your guys' ass and put you down, and I'm going to win All Might style. And so that was a really cool added addition to this chapter. I just love getting to see Bakugou get that character development, showing how he's still going down the path of a hero, or his ideal way of a hero. Very cool stuff. And I like how he's trying to surpass All Might, and he's not, kind of giving up on what he believes in, and he's not going against his character. So very good stuff from Bakugou. I have no complaints with him. A very good portion of this chapter. So let's look at some other details of this part before I move into the Izuku stuff. So Bakugou, as he was talking, you see a reflection of Bakugou and Izuku. You see these two have counter panels with each other, they both look in the opposite directions. And I like the way that was done. Very awesome artwork, by the way, when it came to those panels. But the main thing is, though, is we have panels of the villains. The villains are kind of talking, and there's a brief monologue over the villains' panels of how they're all there for different reasons, and they have their own reasons for being there, and I love that. It kind of dives into why some of these villains act the way they are, or why they turned into villains to begin with, and I feel like this upcoming arc is going to explain more of the villains' motives. Not just, what Stain did, but I feel like it might explain why these villains turned to the side of evil instead of going down the hero route, and I feel like we might be getting some Shigaraki character development very soon, along with characterization, if this arc continues down the path I think it's going, especially with, All Might's death and stuff. We might get explanation of why, someone like, Shigaraki's there, or why, someone like, our crazy Yandere, or the Magician. You get my point. I feel like this arc is going to explain a lot about villains and more of the reason why they fight or why they're going so far. Now that I've said that, let's go into the first part of this chapter. So Izuku, he's made his decision. He's made up his mind. He's going. He's going to go save Bakugou. And I love the maturity in the way this chapter was kind of presented to me when I was reading it, because Momo and Ida, they're going for the exact same reasons almost very similar reasons. And I love the way Ida, the way he kind of said what he said to Izuku. He's like, I'm coming because I don't want to see you guys get hurt, and if I see any potential fight, I'm pulling you guys out. We're getting the fuck out of here. And the reason why Ida is even going, and Momo, is because they know it's not possible for them to go and save Bakugou without getting into a fight. So as soon as they get there, they're like, fuck you guys, we're getting out of here. We're not going in. And so Momo and Ida are there to kind of stop from anything bad happening. They're there to make sure nothing happens. And I love the way that was done in this chapter, just seeing how Ida's there. He's, you know, sticking with his character development that he got in the Stain arc. And Momo is also there because she also feels responsible for what is going on. So very good stuff there when it came to that portion of the chapter. So they're staying in character, the way they're, you know, going and the way they're presenting themselves throughout this chapter. So no issues there. Now when it comes to Izuku, Todoroki, and all of them still going on to go find Bakugou, I mean, it makes sense. It sticks with the morals of the series, like I already discussed in last week's chapter. They're heroes, and they want to do that. They want to save the people in front of them and go any length to be able to save the people they care about, for instance, Bakugou. And because of this, they believe that they could probably sneak in without getting into a fight, but they're probably going to be forced into a fight or have to run away. One or the other is going to happen. And to disguise themselves while they go over there to finally do some scouting work to be able to save Bakugou, they have to get a different type of attire. Which, let's talk about the attire, by the way. Okay. Izuku's attire. That, oh my god, I want to see Izuku more in that type of style of outfits. Just seeing, like, the little goatee or, like, little beard going on, and just seeing, you know, how his style of hair is with the glasses, and then seeing, you know, Todoroki, and then just seeing Momo and all that, Ida. Very funny, very fucking funny. Very funny designs. And I love that little comedy segment throughout this chapter, the way they had to dress up, because they're students. At the end of the day, they're students, and they have to dress up and, you know, act like they're adults, because, I mean, if they go to a middle of a different town, like dead at night, a night district, and, you know, they look like children, people are going to look at them suspiciously, like, what the fuck is children doing here in the middle of the night? You know, they're going to be asking, like, what are you doing? And, you know, of course they had to dress up and put themselves in disguise, which I love that section of the chapter. Very funny comedy. And Momo's reaction to the way she was acting, like, you know, no, I can't make my own clothing, I can't do that. And, you know, the way it was kind of summed up is that she just wanted to go in the store to go shopping, but in all reality, she could have, like, you know, made her own outfit. She could have made everybody their own outfits and disguises, which I believe she'll probably do in the future. But for now, though, it goes to show you a different side of her personality, a cute little side of how she just wanted to go shopping and stuff with her friends, which I found very funny when it came to the chapter. Now, let's talk about the news media coverage that's going on. So, the school is currently apologizing to the entire public. Like, we're sorry for allowing our students to get hurt this entire year. We're sorry that they're injured. Villains have constantly attacked us over the course of this year, this past, you know, year of teaching. And it's a very bad political situation, along with, you know, a public situation with the school, because they're in a point to where the public, no matter what, you know, the school says, they're going to look at the school in a very bad light, because they didn't do their job, they didn't protect the students, and they're being paid to, you know, house these students and protect them, but they're not protecting them, and puts them in a difficult situation where the public just does not view them in a good light anymore, which also kind of weakens the heroes and also makes it to where the villains grow in strength, because they're actually diminishing the role of the heroes and making them look worse than they already are. So the heroes are losing while the villains are winning, and it once again goes along with that Stain ideology that he set up a long time ago with his, you know, defeat. Stain, you know, as he wanted true heroes. One of the only true heroes that are left in this world is All Might, the symbol of peace, the symbol of hope, whatever. And as you all know, pretty much with All Might's possible death, that would mean that the final true hero that is alive at this moment, if he dies, there's really no heroism at all. All heroes are pretty much dead, and all the others are fakes that are just in it for the money. And because of this, it would add a world where villains are able to do whatever they want, and it'll show that, you know, there's really no true heroes, and new heroes will have to rise. For instance, Izuku, Bakugou, Momo, you know, you get my point. And because of this, I love the way this is being set up. Very good setup throughout this chapter for the potential, you know, downfall of All Might. Once again, along with showing signs that Stain's ideology about how heroes act and, you know, betray themselves in public is once again true. You know, Stain really just shit all over the hero associations. Like, this is how they act. This is what they want. They want money. They're fake heroes. They're just going in for a paycheck. and they don't really care about doing the extra work and saving people. They're just in it for the money. And that right there, very interesting stuff that was, you know, shown and brought to light by Stain. It really makes me respect this series just to see where the plot is going. But that's about it when it comes to this chapter. A lot of setup, some good moments throughout this chapter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.